It shouldn't be too long now until we get the winter update for FM23, where we'll get updated transfers, manager movements, and also changes to club situations, and it's going to present a lot of great opportunities for new saves for you guys to start to try. So in today's video, I'll be giving you 5 save ideas that you can do as soon as that winter update hits. Hi everyone, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and as mentioned, today's video should be a pretty quick one. I'm just going to give you 5 different potential save ideas that you can try and do when the winter update comes out for FM23. What I want you guys to do though is to let me know in the comments down below who you're planning to manage after the FM23 winter update. That way everybody can check out the comments and get different save ideas. If you can put a reason as to why you're picking that club also, that'll be great. If you do enjoy the video, smash the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more content like this. And also just remember, even though we are waiting for the winter update here, technically you could go out and download an updated transfer pack or an updated database to play these saves straight away. So don't feel like you need to wait forever, but the official update should be coming fairly soon. We're going to start off with the more obvious teams, I would say, and move into some ideas that you haven't thought of. But the first one is one of my favorites and one that I'm going to do myself as soon as that winter update starts. It is Chelsea. Now, Chelsea is, of course, a very interesting one. Graham Potter is currently manager in real life, but how long that will carry on for, who really knows? They are in awful form at the minute, struggling to score. However, they did make a bunch of signings over January to bolster their ranks. Wonderkids like Datro Fofana and Noni Madueke have all recently joined their team, as well as key first-team players like the hugely expensive Enzo Fernandez and also João Felix, who's joined on loan. Now, personally, I feel like this will be a pretty easy save. Obviously, you're managing a big club, and even though Chelsea aren't doing great in real life, in Football Manager, the chances are if you put all of those players in a decent preset tactic, you'll do fairly well and maybe even can take a shot at that Premier League title straight away. But the interesting thing with Chelsea will be dealing with all of the different players and personalities in the squad, trying to get rid of those deadweight players in the summer. There's certain players at the club who don't seem to have a future that you'll have to get rid of, like Aubameyang, but also on top of that, you'll be trying to keep up with how Todd Boehly and co are going about their business, buying lots of young players for the future. Even though Chelsea spending might seem willy-nilly to a lot of people, I'm a Chelsea fan personally, and I feel like a lot of it does make sense. They're fixing gaps in the team, and whilst we do seem a little overloaded in some areas, the chances are players like Ziyech, Aubameyang aren't going to be there for too much longer. And there's a clear emphasis on bringing in young talent for the future. The project isn't to win the title right now, it's to buy all of the best players under the age of 23 in world football pretty much and put them in a side together to dominate for years to come instead of a one-off title push, or at least that's how they're kind of presenting the project that they're going for. So your job with Chelsea will be to keep that up. I don't think SI will give Chelsea a huge amount of money to spend in your first season, but second, third season, there's a good chance you're going to get a huge amount of transfer fees coming in. You'll have to deal with all the financial fair play regulations. You'll have to start trimming off this squad, which doesn't even have some of those new players added yet. Sorting out potential loanee returns like Hudson-Odoi coming back, Ampadu, amongst many others. Lukaku as well is, of course, another big one. It will be a tough squad to manage, but if you can get your style of play and your influence over the team sorted, this could be a side that dominates for ages and could be a very fun save. There was once a point where Italian giants Juventus looked unbeatable in the Serie A. They won the title for years in a row, but recently we've had a title win from Inter, then Milan, and it looks like we'll get a new winner this year in Napoli, who haven't won the league since all the way back in 1989. And for that reason, I think Juventus could be a great save. Years ago, this would have been seen as blasphemy because they're already such a good team, but realistically, their squad is aging. It's also really not the best squad in the world anymore. They're having financial difficulties, I'm led to believe. Whether that'll be represented in FM, I'm not sure, but the big kicker that we're all expecting when the winter update hits is that point deduction. I believe it's 15 points it's being spoken about. I saw some reports today saying Juventus think they're going to be able to counter it and fight it and appeal against it and be successful with that. So whether we'll see that change in FM will be interesting enough, but they are definitely a side that needs rebuilding, point deduction or not. But with that point deduction, it makes life even harder. All you need to do is look at their players from Pogba downwards. You've got Alexandros, Chesney, Di Maria, Bonucci, Cuadrado. All of those are near enough 30 or older. There's some decent young talent in the squad like Moretti and also Vlahovic, but outside of that, the likes of McKennie have left, Chiesa's injured. There's a lot of work to be done here to turn this Juventus side around, but it could be a very fun rebuild, trying to make them the dominant force in Italy once again. In terms of a difficulty for this save, I don't think it will be incredibly difficult, but definitely a fun one, and it's one that I will be doing a rebuild of on my channel, a one-off rebuild. And if you want to check out my channel, you can find that linked in the description down below. We do Wonderkid videos, a long-term series that we've got going on with Aberdeen, and also one-off rebuild videos like what we'll do with Juventus, and also most likely Chelsea as well. So if you want to come over to the channel, check out any of the videos we've got and subscribe for when that content comes out. I'll greatly appreciate it. We're pushing for 15,000 subscribers at the minute, so thank you to anyone who does that. But let's move on to team number 3. We're getting through these quite quick now. We're going to a slightly smaller club now in Union Berlin out in the Bundesliga, who have taken the Bundesliga by storm this year. I don't believe they are top of the league at the minute, but they're certainly up there and challenging with Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. And whilst their title charge may keep going, it may fall off, I think it'd be a great idea in your save to manage Union Berlin and try and replicate the success that they're having, and in your first season try and win the title over Bayern Munich. It'll be super hard, and there's nothing wrong with extending the length of that save if you enjoy it, but I think it could be great fun to see how far you can take Union Berlin. Obviously the Bundesliga, as we all know, is dominated by Bayern at the minute. Dortmund a few times back in the early 2010s, but other than that, pretty much over the last 20 years or so, it's nearly always been Bayern. Can you bring the Bundesliga title to the capital of Germany? It would be very impressive if you can. I mean, realistically, their squad doesn't look like the kind of squad that should be challenging for a league title, but they're doing very well. I'm pretty sure I've been seeing that Danilo Doci here has been doing excellent for them, and the reason I know about him is he used to be a Vitesse player, and I used to manage him on my Vitesse save. You can see my little shirt up there. Years ago, that made me fall in love with the Eredivisie and Vitesse Arnhem in particular, but he is a fantastic player and looks like that he's doing excellent now. And yeah, the squad is in a pretty nice shape. There's nothing crazy going on in terms of incredible talent. They've got some good Bundesliga level players, nothing you'd expect to challenge for the title, but that'll be your job. Can you somehow overthrow Bayern Munich with this side, whether it's over 1 year or multiple? Their facilities aren't looking great either, neither's their junior coaching or youth recruitment. There's a lot of work to be done here, and if you can make it happen, it will be an extremely rewarding save. Team number 4 now, we're going to Spanish giants Valencia. You might notice that a lot of these teams are pretty reputable sides, even the ones that maybe aren't your Chelseas and your Juves, but that's what I'm focusing on in this video. If you do want to see some more obscure picks, let me know and we can do a part 2. But the reason I'm a big fan of doing Valencia as a potential save idea is if you look at them, everything looks great, right? 55,000 capacity stadium, facilities looking nice. Jose Gaya's brilliant and one of many talents in this team. And if we look at the history of Valencia, they've been a big side, being runners-up in the Champions League on 2 occasions, only as far back as about 2 decades or so ago. They won the La Liga title in 2002 and 2004. There was a point where they were an exceptional team, but currently in real life, they are sitting, at the time of recording, in the bottom 4 spaces of La Liga, and they're really struggling right now. Your job will be to try and change around the fortunes of the club. To be honest, you'll be doing something pretty wrong if you get them dragged down into the relegation zone, but to actually make them league winners again, that's certainly going to take something. And then can you take it a step further and finally win that Champions League? They were runners-up 2 years in a row. This time, under your management, maybe you can get them to win it. It will be a great far cry from where they are in real life, where things just aren't going well at all. It will be hard work competing with the likes of Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico, amongst many others, but if you can do it, you'll be doing a fantastic job. And for our final team, we are going to stay in Spain, but we're actually going to drop down a division. And we are going to historic Spanish side Malaga, who have great facilities, youth recruitment, junior coaching, for their kind of level in the 2nd division of Spain. They've got a large stadium with a 30,000 capacity. They've been around for years. They've won the 2nd division on multiple occasions. And only a decade or so ago, they were finishing 4th in La Liga and were a consistent mid-table, if not higher, La Liga side. But you can see things have been going wrong recently. After being relegated, they nearly came back up, but just missed out. And then since then, it's kind of been a bit of a downward spiral, finishing 18th in the league last year. And once again this season, they find themselves down in the bottom places in the league. This is a club that have had some great players over the years. All you need to do is look at the legends and the icons section and you'll just see so many great names in there. But times aren't being too kind to Malaga at the minute. It's a very old squad as well. If we go about halfway down their senior squad, all of these players are 28 or older. The majority are 30 or older, and there is 5 or 6 players over the age of 32, 33, and a lot of them are the high earners at the club as well, as you can see highlighted there. That won't be helping the club's situation at all. A lot of old players on inflated wages, and whilst things aren't going right in real life, your job will be to basically clear out this squad if you want to, of course, try and get back to the top division, and then potentially even challenge for a league title. But I think the best thing about doing a Malaga save would be trying to produce loads of great youngsters and have them taking the places in your first team. After you get rid of some of those overpaid older players, it will be time to bring through the new rank, and you'll do a variation of a youth academy save. You don't only have to use those players, of course, but to use those guys in your team, sell them on for huge profit, and produce great youngsters at your club could be great fun with Malaga. So there you go, everyone. That's 5 saves that I think would be great fun when the winter update hits. Some of them, of course, you could do right now, but the likes of Chelsea with their transfer update, Juventus with their points deduction. I feel like when the update comes out, Union Berlin will have some of their players slightly upgraded, and you might also see some negative effects to the likes of players who are playing for Malaga currently, and also Valencia, who aren't doing great. So I think all of these could be great fun, whether you do them now or after the winter update. Just wanted to give you guys some save ideas. Let me know yours in the comments down below, but most of all, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.